Hi, and we're live again to my Snappy Chat. I believe I was 1 minute late, but I was having a wonderful conversation with the beautiful and very smart Isabelle in the background, and we just kept chatting. So that's all wonderful. So I'm Christine Bell. I'm a customer strategist, but we're not talking about me today. We're going to be talking about the challenges that we all face in business. And if you're a small business owner or startup, you're going to be faced with a lot of challenges. And guess what? Most of us are going through the same things. So why not come together and learn from each other? And this is what my Snappy Chat is all about. Business can get really lonely, but together we can work through these challenges and support each other. And with this in mind, I'm going to bring on my wonderful guest, Isabelle. She is fantastic at leadership. She is a brilliant, very conscious person who is very much about personal development and learning how to work together in teams. So let's bring her on. Hello, my friend.
Hi, honey. You're so sweet. And truth be told, it was my fault we were late.
I'm not going to say that. It's not your fault.
You weren't gonna, but I'm gonna set the record straight. It was somebody rang the doorbell, and that's just life.
Guess what? The first guest we have today is Mike Ashebrana from the House of Business Community. We appreciate you. I know you have a storm going on in Kentucky, but you're still here, so we appreciate you, Mike. Thank you for being here and having such a wonderful...
He's in the middle of a tornado, and he still shows up for us. See how amazing this guy is.
Exactly. He's amazing, and we love being part of your community, both of us. So we appreciate you, and it's a wonderful community. So with this in mind, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Isabelle. Hello, Tommy. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Isabelle.
Well, I'm Isabelle Fortin, and I am a team leadership strategist. I am a salsa dancer and an all-around badass. So that's me.
That pretty much sums you up, and I found you all the way through the House of Business community in Canada, of all places.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one, the only Canadian in the house. We're gonna have to fix that.
I think we do. We need some more Canadians.
I think Mike needs more Canucks around him. It keeps him grounded.
Exactly. He said he chased the tornado away, so good on him. He's a salsa eater, not a dancer. Well, that's kind of different. Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. We love him the way he is.
So wonderful. So these Snappy Chats are all about obviously learning and growing together in business. So tell me a little bit about more what you do, because I think what you do is amazing, but I want you to share it with the world.
Thank you. You're so kind. So what I do is I help leader tap into the unique abilities of every single one of their team members, because teams are built one person at a time. When you utilize everybody to their full potential, when they feel they are contributing to the team, because we're all human, Christine. That's what we want. We want to make an impact. We want to serve others. We want our work to have meaning. So when our leaders tap into what we are good at, our zone of genius, our unique abilities, then it just gives us more strength to do our job even better. And then everybody wins, right? Everybody gets their goal.
Absolutely. And one thing that I've learned teaching at the university now, teaching collaboration and innovation, and I come more from the innovation side, strategy side, this whole collaboration thing it's definitely a journey. I've got, a room of 46, 19 to 20-year-olds, and they have to work in teams. And guess what? That is actually one of the biggest learnings they're having is around how do you have productive teamwork? How do they work together in a way that's collaborative? How do they deal with conflicts? Yeah, because conflict is real and it happens in the best of teams. And I know that you are really, interested in and really powerful in this area too around conflict. Yeah.
Yes. Conflict is everywhere. Conflicts is with our siblings when we're children. It's with our parents, with our classmates when we're in school. It's with our neighbors. It's with our colleagues. Conflicts are everywhere. And the best way to get over conflicts is to recognize the humanity in the other person. That person is struggling. They're dealing with things that you don't know about. So when you recognize the other person for all of what they are, not only a colleague, not only a parent, not only a spouse, a child, or whatever, and you see the entirety of who they are and recognize their humanity, That's how you stop taking all the petty things so seriously, because our egos need to be right. We all need to be, we are made of egos, and egos, they have a bad rap, but they're absolutely necessary. The ego is what stops you from jumping in front of a bus. So it's absolutely necessary. But, once in a while, it could sit in the back seat of the car.
Absolutely. And we all come with different belief systems too. And if we come from different cultures and we're brought up in different types of families where we've been taught certain ways of either staying quiet and sturm versus speaking up, that impacts, how we come together if we're working together as well. And I actually had an interesting experience. One of the teams were having some struggles, and specifically with one team member, and we're talking about it, and they're coming and, but what about our grades, and what about this, and what about that? And I said, but do you know what's going on in this person's life? Do you know what happened behind the scene that this person may not have told you? And there was an absolute switch from being the ego was angry to going stop, and they reflected and they went, we don't actually know that.
Exactly.
And we didn't ask.
That's what you get when you tap into the person's humanity. Is that person may be struggling, maybe their parent is sick, maybe their sister committed suicide, maybe you just don't know. But the thing is that the ego wants to be in the center of our lives, and it wants to take everything so bloody personally. Well, not every part of that other person's life is about you. Actually, most of it is not about you. So when we
most of the time we project, don't we? When someone else is coming up, they are literally, it's not about you, and it's hard to take and it's hard to understand, because we have to become very conscious of ourselves. But when someone else is coming at you, they're just showing you what's going on with them.
Absolutely. They're not talking to you. They're talking about themselves. It's just that they're using the second person to do it instead of using the first person to do it.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
it. Yeah.
I just want to say hello to the beautiful Diane Dawson. I absolutely adore her. She's amazing. So thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Now, I know we're going to talk about challenges, but I really want to dig into it because I love this whole thing around conflict, and it's so important in whoever we're working with or in life, including meeting people on LinkedIn and starting collaborations, in the house even. So this whole thing around, you come from a background in the military, and I think that's really, really interesting because you told me a bit about it, but I want to let you share a little bit more about what do you do when you have to work with people in the military that you may not like?
No, actually, to be honest with you, most of the people I work with in the military, I didn't like, and I had to trust them with my life. It's not about, and that's where all of what I do today comes from. Because when I retired from the military and joined the, corporate America, the typical corporate America, I was shocked by two things. The first one is the lack of leadership training in all of the bosses that I had. And in the United States, it's actually a pretty scary number. In the United States right now, only 6% of leaders have leadership training. So what the companies do is they take someone that's good at the job and they make that person the boss of that department. But leadership is a skill. And if you don't teach that skill, if you're not given the tools to develop that skill, then being good at the job doesn't make you good at leading the people doing that job, because that's two different things. So that's the first thing that I was completely shocked by, the fact that because in the military, we do get leadership training. If you go up in the ranks, you're going to get leadership training. So, and the second thing that I was extremely shocked by is, well, I don't want to work with that person. I don't like her. Well, excuse my language, but who gives a fuck? It's not about you liking this person or not liking this person. It's about you respecting that this person is an equal to you and another human being, and that they're going to do their job and you're going to do yours. And if the leader is good at tapping into the unique abilities of every single person in their teams, well, then very quickly the team realized that what I'm good at is completely different than from what this person is good at and from what the third person is good at. And that combined, we're on it's unstoppable.
Yeah, and I guess what often happens in teams these days, and I've certainly been in many of them when I was employed, even in small companies, this happens. Yeah, it's like our little children is fighting. Our inner child is actually fighting with each other. Yeah, who's going to get
It's a
seen
power
first? Who's going to
struggle.
get this role? Who's going to get this client? Yeah, who's taking this client from this person? Yeah,
Yeah.
who's stealing from the table?
It's a power struggle, but the reason it's a power struggle, Christine, is because they're not allowed, each team member are not allowed to tapping into the zone of genius. When you are capable of showing who you are and showing all of your strength, and you know exactly what you are contributing to the team and how it is different from every single other person on the team, you don't need to struggle for the power anymore because
Yeah,
you know where it is. You
yeah,
know where your zone of genius is, and you know that it's being utilized for the greater good. But when the leader can't put these things together, well, then it's an ego thing. People fight to get the biggest slice of the pie. I always say that managing a team or being a team leader is trying to put a puzzle together. But most
yeah,
of the time, the leaders are trying to put the puzzle together, but the puzzle is face down. They can't even see what the colors should be, like all the blues together, all the yellows together. They can't even see that. And when
yeah,
they work with someone like me, I take the puzzle, I put it right side up, and I say, look, this is all red. Put the reds together because this is what you do when you
yeah,
start a puzzle. You start
yeah,
it by separating the colors,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely. I love that. And I guess in terms of even when you're a small business, I think there's still learnings from this that we can take, even when we don't have that many employees, we can still be a leader in our business, yeah? And with our clients and whoever else we collaborate with, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is, to be a good leader, like to be a good human, it does take self awareness. And 90 to 95% of people think that they are extremely self aware, when in reality, only 10 to 15% of people actually are, because we're looking at self awareness completely wrong.
Yeah.
And the way that we reflect about ourselves is completely wrong. And hey, listen, I'm not a master at this. I'm a human being, and some days I'm in the 95 and some days I'm in the 10. And I would even say some moments I'm in the 95 and some moments I'm in the 10. Some moments I'm really good at knowing exactly who I am and how to be bold and how to just show up as myself. And some days I'm lost, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
It is much easier when you deal with someone like you as a strategist or me as a strategist, because we're detached from the situation. So it's easy for me to go in a team and say, okay, so he's the bully, he's the funny guy, and I'm using it's he, she, obviously.
Yeah.
And okay, so this is what doesn't work. Let's put the puzzle right side up and let's start over again.
I
But
love that. I just want to say hi to Randy. Randy is in the house, as is Shafiq. And I also love Diane says this, good leaders train good leaders. Absolutely. And with
true.
that self-awareness, I think it's
Yes.
not just the leader, because you can be a fantastic leader, but if the team is not self-aware at all, yeah, you're still managing the kindergarten.
Absolutely. But Diane is right. Leaders create leaders. That's
Yeah.
what their job is.
Yeah.
That being a
And that's
leader
the
is
point. It's not
not
just them being a good leader, it's about making everyone a good leader, yeah?
exactly. And I love what Simon Sinek says. Being a leader is not about getting the job done. It's about being in charge of the people who get the job done. It's about inspiring them. You can't motivate anybody to do anything anytime at all, ever. That's not possible. What you can do is you can inspire them and then they'll motivate themselves. That's what you can do. But that's what being a leader is about being in charge of people in your charge, or it's about taking care of them.
So really what we all need, and we didn't get into how we do that, we just mentioned it's really a challenge, is self-awareness. How do we teach ourselves self-awareness? How do we teach the team that we are leading about self-awareness? Yeah. How do we bring this into corporations and businesses, big and small?
Well, one of the things that I find is that most of the people, me included, when we're self-reflecting, go into the why. Why is this happening to me? Why did I create this? Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? And I'm not saying that wrong. I don't know whether that's wrong or that's right. What I have discovered recently for myself on my own life is that the why gets me into analysis paralysis, because it makes me reflect on, okay, but I've created this, but when I shift from why to what, then it's about action. So what if I did this differently? What if I tried this instead? And then I'm no longer stuck in analysis paralysis, because I believe that staying, and I'm not talking about motivation, because having a why is very important. Knowing what drives you, knowing why you want to do things is a very, very important thing. It's a very powerful tool. What I'm saying is, when you're reflecting on something specific in your life, instead of asking why, ask what? What can I do differently? What is the impact of this in my life? What can I do to change that impact? Because then it keeps you action focused instead of being stuck at, oh, why me? Why did this happen to me again?
The victim mode. And I love what you're
Yeah.
saying. And I think there's two things in this that stands out to me, which is when we take action, then we're actually changing the
Yes.
situation, and we're also at the same time having an opportunity to think about, how can I turn this into a benefit for me and everyone? Yeah. There's an
Yeah.
opportunity to go, okay, this isn't a great place we're in right now. How can I first obviously allow myself to feel what I need to feel without taking it out on other people? But also, how can I then, with the what, change it into a real benefit in terms of what I can learn from this by doing something differently to receive different results? Yeah. And is it Einstein that said, if you keep doing the same, then that's the standard
Yeah.
insanity? If it's not working.
I think his description was the definition of stupidity is always doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what you're talking to. Yeah. It's like, take action. Don't do the same thing again. Reflect, but then move on to what will give me a different result.
yeah. Yeah. And I think when you focus on the what and you focus on the action, first of all, the best way, I created a post 2 days ago about my sunburn. I went paddle boating and I burnt. Like, I mean, my legs are lobster red. Forgot to reapply sunscreen. I'm a dumbass. Shit happens. But the reason I share this is because we don't learn anything in theory. You have to do it. This was my first paddle boating experience. I thought I was going to be on the water for 30 minutes. I ended up being on the water for 4.5 hours. It's just, you don't learn anything in theory. And I'm including myself in this, but we talk ourselves to death in theories. Yes, but yes, and then I'll go validate my ideas with this person, and then I'll go validate it with this person, and then I'll check what that person thinks. And because while we're doing this, although we are busy, it is very time consuming to get everybody's approval. We are busy. We confuse being busy for being active. That's two different things. So when you let go of the why, because truth of the matter is, Christine, most of the time, you will never know why shit happened to you.
No, but if you decide to think that it has some benefit, you can either take the victim road and go, shit, this happened to me. Yes. This is upsetting. And why did it happen to me? And of course, we have to sometimes revel in that for a little while. We all do that to some extent. But once we turn it around to going, okay, I had this experience. This is happening. This is someone is doing this or whatever. And I'm feeling something about it. Then it is, okay, what am I learning from it? And how do I change how I feel about it so I can move forward without getting stuck in victimhood, or what I think other people might think of me, or what if they don't validate me anymore, or why they're not here talking to me, etc. Yeah. It's all about coming home to ourselves and being enough in ourselves and loving on ourselves. Yeah. in a positive way.
Yeah. When you focus on the what, you're in the action. And there's a study in the US, they did a study on widowers. So when the widowers, whenever they lost their spouses, if they concentrated all of their energy on trying to figure out why, they would feel much better than the people who would focus on the what. What do I do now with my life? Like, how do I sell the house? Do I not sell that? Whatever.
Yeah.
Within 30 days, the people focusing on the why would be much better off than the people focusing on the what. However, and that's where it's key, the people focusing on the what were 10 times better off a year after losing their spouses than the people who were still focusing on the why. Because you'll more than likely never understand why you lost your spouse and your next door neighbor didn't. Why did I lose my mother and why is yours still alive? It makes no sense. It's just life. It sucks sometimes, and that's just reality. So if you stay focused on the why, then short term you get a reward, but long term you get penalized because you're stuck in analysis paralysis. When you're I was just going to say, when you concentrate on the what, well, then short term is like, but long term, you get more benefit.
That makes total sense. And I think we can actually also apply this to business, yeah?
Of
so
course.
Sometimes we can get stuck in, why am I not getting clients in? Why am I not doing this? And usually it comes back to, what can I do differently?
Yes.
And sometimes that's trial and error. Most of the time it's a trial and error. And I just want to say hello to Melissa, is in the house. So thank you for being here. She said she definitely didn't want to miss out listening to you. So we appreciate her being here.
My triple B sister.
I don't know what this BBB stands
That's
for.
Okay.
I could guess what it is, but I'm not going to go there in this show right now. So I have a good guess of it though. What I was going to say is, it's really important to, back to your point about what in business as well, is yes, things happen and maybe there's a reason, we can work out why that happened, and that's great, but it's not going to change anything until you take a different step, until you do something differently, until you actually go, including yourself, in terms of, okay, if I have a big response to it emotionally, internally, it's upsetting me, there's some anger, whatever, you can figure out the why, but really more is, okay, what is it in me? And then going, what can I change that will help me respond in a different way, or help me work through this and move on? Yeah. And that's through the what, the actions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, focusing on the why in the business. Yeah, of course, knowing why you're in business and what's your purpose and what you want to accomplish, that's extremely important. But why am I not getting more clients? Well, I don't know. What can you do? Right? If you focus on the what you can do, you're focused on the action. What have I not tried yet? What am I scared of trying? What am I not doing? Because I think it's Zig Ziglar that said the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. And we're all human, and
we're all human, and we're all guilty of that, even when we got blind spots. Yeah,
we're all things we're avoiding to do. They're all of us.
And if you just keep asking, why am I not getting clients? Well, you're just going to start feeling really bad about yourself. You're going to start figuring out why you're not good enough, why you're not this, and then you're back to the big picture. Yeah.
Yeah, stuck in analysis paralysis. It's the same thing when I work with teams. Why have I gotten have I not gotten this promotion? Why did this person get the promotion? Okay, instead, why don't you focus on what can I do to get it the next time? What can I improve on? Can I go see my boss and say, hey, what can I do so we can get along? What belongs to me here? What can I improve in? So that, and people will tell you, obviously, especially if they're leaders.
Oh yeah, they will. And sometimes you also have to go, are they, that's just their perception. Don't take it all on as you. Again, they're projecting, yeah? And you're like, you can get angry, because sometimes I have people saying things to me, I'm like, what? And I'm like, really? And then I have to stop myself and go, hold on, you're actually talking to yourself. And I could tell you that you're actually saying what you need to do in business, and you're putting it on me. And I'm like, one thing I just said one time was, I focus on me, you focus on you.
Yeah, you do you. That's what I say.
You do you, I'm going to do me, yeah? And you may not like everything I do, but if I like it and I'm moving through my experience and I'm learning from it, frankly, it's got nothing to do with anyone else.
Yeah. No, I'm a little bit bolder. I'll say you do you and don't mind my business.
I like that. Maybe I'll get bolder too, and we all have to learn our own way of doing things, yeah?
Oh,
So I
that's why I'm
appreciate
an
that. Mike
all-around
is still hoping
badass.
I can. Now we're going to finish up because I could keep talking to you, but we're actually at the end of this and I could still keep talking. Melissa says, Isabelle was the first Snappy Chat I saw with Christine. I'm feeling all nostalgic. That's right. We had the first one in January. It was when I was insisting on 15 minutes and I cut off a fantastic conversation and leave them at 30 minutes. They're still sort of snappy, especially when it goes fast and it's fun and joyful. So
Has it been
I
30 minutes
appreciate
already?
that. I know, right?
Oh my God.
So we're going to finish up now, but we could always do another one. I'm just going to say target market for Mike because he's wishing that I'll say that. So why not? And I actually heard some other Australians saying that recently too. So now he's a bit confused apparently. Is it Australian or is it Danish or is it a mix of it? We don't know.
I
But
think
that's
it's a
another study.
Christianism.
It could be. My
I
special
think.
signature. My husband has given up trying to teach me. He's trying. He's
I
like
don't think
doing
you
all these
should.
different movements in the mouth to teach me how
No.
to put the tongue, and it's not working.
I really honestly don't think you should. I think you
No.
should keep saying it this way. It's beautiful. It is so on brand. It is you now. And, it gives a reason for Mike to bug you. And, Mike likes to hit on the same nail.
Exactly. And I will say this, I use, and maybe for anyone out there who doesn't like doing live or videos and whatever, I used to hate my accent and my voice and not being able to speak in perfect English, yeah? And then you just have to get over it and start to love everything about yourself, in terms of all the mistakes, yeah?
Your accent is beautiful. I don't think you should change it.
I don't think I can, so thank you.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Then it's solved.
Exactly. So finishing up, how can people, do you got anything coming up? How can people reach out to you? Anything that we can do to make sure that they connect with you? Whether they're
Thank you.
watching
That's
now
so
or
sweet.
later?
My big hangout place is LinkedIn. I have a new website coming up. It's not up yet, so I'll make sure to let you know when it is. And I am very shortly, in about a month, starting a new weekly live stream, interviewing leaders so that they can share their experiences and their trick of the trade. So that's coming in about 4 weeks.
Wonderful. Are there any specific criteria in terms of leaders you're looking for that we can look out for so they know this is for them? Whether it's
No,
big teams, small teams, any team?
any size teams, they just have to get a group call with me just to make sure that they qualify. There's no cost for them to appear on the live stream. Obviously, it is. It's about talking about the human-centered leaders because that's what I'm interested in.
And I love that approach. It's all about empathy. It's actually what I do. And I saw this word because it's used a lot in my industry. And I thought I had the long way. And I'm like, I saw yours and I said, I'm going to just remember to use this word too. So you'll see it in my profile now. I'm like, yes, this is actually how everyone says it. It's exactly what I do. And why have I not been using it? I've been using like 5 words instead to explain it.
Yeah.
So
no, it's
I hope you don't mind. I did steal it from you. I saw it in your profile.
That's okay.
Like, yes.
You can steal it away. That's all right. I don't own the English language, so that's okay. No, it's
Take it as a compliment. You inspired me.
Exactly. I'll take it that way too. No, it's about human-centered. Period. It's if you're a leader about kind of command and control, or I can't remember what the 2 C words are. Melissa would be better at telling me. That's not what I'm about. I'm about human-centered.
I love it.
It increases profitability by like 80 some odd percent and increases everything. And then it decreases employee turnover, which is extremely costly. So that's
so many benefits to it. People just got to be willing to step up and learn about themselves and be willing to take their action. So I love that. I'm going to finish now. Diane says, please send me an invite for when it comes up. She wants to be viewing that and taking part in that. So that's wonderful. Everyone else is saying thank you. Mike said something. Everyone's got to go now. So thank you so much. I think we're going to finish up.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye. And I got to remember to stop streaming as well.